If you're a fan of Cassiopeia, the Doobie Brothers, or even Los Retros, you may want to check out this band called Toast Club from London, UK. If you want to hear more, please stick around. This is All Gas, No Trash. My name's Adam. Welcome back to the program, and welcome to a brand new episode. We start off the episode by introducing the band itself. Toast Club is comprised of Chuck Smythe and also Tommy Villiers. Chuck Smythe being the keyboard player while Tommy is the guitar player. And I found this band about 6 months ago, back in August, and for whatever reason, I decided not to make an episode back when Café Pacific, which is one of the songs we're going to be listening to, when that song was released, I believe back in the summer, and I think it was around August. I was apprehensive about making this episode, which is funny because this is supposed to be a music discovery platform. But if I had to say why I had that fear is because I don't know how many people are interested in jazz fusion or even jazz rock. So, if I put the episode out and there's not a whole lot of people interested in it, then I don't know if I would follow up, but I thought, I shouldn't be doing that. That's not the mindset that I should have about introducing artists or talking about artists. If it's good, it's good. I shouldn't worry about what the outcome is. It's very stupid. I apologize to the band for doing that. But here we are. This is my apology 6 months after the fact, and we're going to get underway with talking more about Toast Club and what little I know about them based off of their Instagram, because I don't have a whole lot of information available on search engines. But what I could find, and one of the interesting things that I could find, was on their Spotify profile. It seems like they took a pivot in creative direction early in their discography for the cover art, where they had, I don't know if it was hand-drawn stuff, but there was this transition over to things related to flight, including airplanes, airports, different types of airplanes, and I'm not familiar with all of them, but it just took me back. It took me back to the 90s when there was scholastic books, whether that was math, history, or whatever it might be, that had cover art of airplanes flying through geometry, whether that was squares, circles, or whatever it might be. Just weird shit. And it just takes me back to that time. But it also reminds me of lobby art at like a dentist or an orthodontist office, or maybe just an office in general. Like if you look at the covers for Café Pacifica and the latest single, which is like a Ghostbusters cover, if I'm not mistaken. But yeah, they've pivoted towards flight as their like aesthetic, and I think it's actually kind of fucking genius, because if you notice in their profile and even in their music video, they're making videos around flight at airports, just airplanes flying, and they're standing in front of it, and you could see the airplanes going off and stuff. And I saw I saw on their Instagram profile that they tagged British Airways, and I'm like, that's not a bad fucking idea. When it comes to bands getting sponsored by, let's say, brands like Ernie Ball for strings or Gretsch for drums and guitars, or let's say Fender or something along those lines, these guys are like, we like airplanes and stuff. What if we could get sponsored by British Airways or some other major airliner that may be in Europe, or it could be here in the US? And, their music is fitting for call waiting music or even office music. It's just good stuff. I fucking love it. It's yacht rock, jazz fusion, jazz rock. I mean, I'll tell you some artists that I think they're comparable to, but again, just pointing out the fact that these guys are concentrated on flight as part of their creative direction, I think is very smart. Because what are the chances that they end up getting their flights for free to travel all over Europe for shows and stuff? Like, how fucking cool and smart would that be? I don't know why I'm obsessed with that, but I think it's genius. That's the bottom line. But in addition to that, one of the posts on their profile, a pinned post to be exact, featured a Japanese program that had Café Pacific I'm not sure if I've been saying Cafe Pacific or Cafe Pacific, but just for your own personal reference, the name of the track is Cafe Pacific. Anyways, this program had featured their music, referring to Toast Club. I thought that was pretty cool because for a band that is from the UK, you never know where your audience is actually going to be. So for their music to end up in Japan and already being featured on a Japanese program, I thought that was pretty cool. And as far as the person that I thought I saw tagged was somebody named Gen Hoshino, who is a singer, songwriter, actor, musician, and a whole bunch of other roles that he's done. But he was featured on this program along with somebody else I couldn't find the name of or look up because it's all written in Japanese. So anyways, with that said, let's go ahead and transition over to the music portion of the episode. And let's go ahead and give Cafe Pacific, if I've been saying Pacifica, I apologize. But we are going to listen to Cafe Pacific from Toast Club. So go ahead and pull it up on your digital streaming platform of choice, and let's go ahead and give it a listen. Cafe Pacifica from Toast Club, going in. All right, welcome back. That was Cafe Pacific from Toast Club. Let us know in the comments what you thought about it. All right, I sincerely hope you enjoyed that track, because that one is a fucking banger, especially if you... I guess for this particular song, I would call it yacht rock, but this is such a banging track, man. That riff in the beginning with the keyboard, the boo dip boo boo dip boo. It's so easygoing, and even more so when you look at the lyrics. I think it's verse 2. Well, I just think the lyrics in general are just really easygoing. There's this part where I guess in the context of the story of this song, you have like a pilot that's trying to figure out what he's going to do for the day of work. And it says, is it a Boeing? He wants to know what he's in for. Done all the reading. He's hoping for a Dreamliner. Fuck duty free. He's got sent from the boss man. Picture the coastline. The surf, it ain't bad in Ibiza. And there's this part, it's like referring to, I don't know, like somebody that is in the work setting. So it says, some folk get weird cause Chuck's a whole vibe. Ibiza, it's hard to tell. E-pizza, sometimes he's a bird or a plane kind of guy. In Ibiza, Terminal 5, the geezer. It's just such a like tranquil, easygoing, a track that gives off vibes of relaxation that, you know, there's not really a care in the world. And that's the reason I enjoy it so much. And if I had to make a comparison to an artist that I can think of, and I guess in terms of genre, I feel like this is comparable to yacht rock, but the band that I'm currently like thinking of is like the Doobie Brothers with a track like What a Fool Believes. Maybe loosely, just kind of like the feeling, the pace of the song, the tempo of the song, maybe a little bit of the melody. It just kind of gives off that vibe. But the next track that we are going to hear is called Rescue Human, which was the single that was released before Cafe Pacific. But when you click on Cafe Pacific, you'll have those two singles included on Spotify. I'm not sure if that's the case on Apple Music as well. But this is the track that I think really delves into like the jazz rock or even jazz fusion side of Toast Club. So hopefully you enjoy this track. And go ahead and pull it up on your digital streaming platform of choice. Once again, that track is called Rescue Human from Toast Club, going in. All right, welcome back to the episode that was Rescue Human from Toast Club. Let us know in the comments what you thought about it. All right, this was, for me, the track that I thought resembled a group like Cassiopeia from Japan, the jazz fusion group or jazz fusion rock. I hope those are the appropriate terms to define them. But this is Toast Club showing the other side of themselves. And, you know, going forward, I'm not entirely sure how much more we're going to get of the things that they have shown us. If we're going to get more of the jazz fusion stuff, or maybe something more representing of Doobie Brothers, perhaps it's going to be 50-50, or maybe there's more to Toast Club than I am led to believe. But nonetheless, these two tracks that we have listened to are fucking bangers, and I hope you have enjoyed them. One other thing that I wanted to point out, referring back to the conversation that we were having about the Japanese program that featured Toast Club, I thought, it does seem like a natural conclusion to be made that if their music were to end up anywhere, Japan would make sense for, especially for groups like Cassiopeia that had made this type of music in the past. It would make sense that Japan itself and this program would be warm to music like this because it's already been popular, or it was already something that had been done in Japan. So for a group to be making music similar to a band like Cassiopeia, it seems like a logical conclusion. But overall, I hope you just enjoy the music, follow the band on Instagram, support them in whatever way you can. I just think this band's fantastic. I apologize once again for not making this episode back 6 months when Café Pacific had dropped, but here I am trying to redeem myself with this episode, and hopefully you are turned on to jazz fusion, jazz rock type of music. But anyways, that's going to do it for me. Thank you so much for tuning in. I'll catch you all next time.